Here's what we can learn from Joe Biden, possibly one of the most interesting political animals that we've ever seen. In his political arc, Joe Biden is literally the only person to have beaten Donald Trump in the Electoral College. Trump has now beat Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, only to be defeated by Joe Biden in what looks like one of the most contentious elections and one of the most contentious, factually based, trying to search for evidence about what really happened in 2020. But one of the reasons I want to talk about Joe Biden is how history is going to view him. Now, history might view him very poorly because, frankly, in my opinion, the economy was terrible. The border was not secure. But what's fascinating is all that has now been blamed upon Kamala Harris. And that was because Kamala Harris was the one who was running for president. Joe Biden was not. And Joe Biden, in his last days as president, has come out essentially hinting that he supports Donald Trump. He wore the Trump hat and smiled. His wife wore a red dress after coming out of the voting booth. Those are all subliminal messages. They are not accidents. These people do not just do those things. They are intentional. They are on purpose. One of the reasons why that's so fascinating is it is the most important political lesson that you should understand as a political strategist, as a viewer, a commentator, someone who's interested in the process. Politics is all about your friends and enemies, and sometimes your enemies are your own party. Joe Biden was very obviously cheated in that he was taken off the ballot. It is clear in my mind that he wanted to run for president, and it's very possible that he could have beat Donald Trump, even though the polling was terrible for him. The coalition of the blue wall states, I think he certainly had a better chance with than Kamala Harris. He shored up the union vote. He had better responses with Muslim and Arab Americans. But Joe Biden was forced out of office in a unelected fashion, and he wanted revenge. And he saw the opportunity to ensure that Kamala Harris's track record and person as a political entity is now anathema, is not going to be a part of the Democratic Party anymore. Because once you lose, you can't ever kind of transform that unless, of course, you're Donald Trump, who is so far unique and above political strategy in so many ways that he might be the only exception. But here's my overall point. Biden very obviously knew that the Democratic Party did not have his back, and he was more concerned about his legacy and the way that Americans feel about him more than anything else. You can see it after Kamala's loss. The dude is happier than ever. His exit speech upon the presidency, he seems happy. He's talked better than he's ever talked. He doesn't seem like typical Sleepy Joe. He's got cognizant thought, and all that makes him more of a likable person. It shows you at the end of the day that politicians, more than anything else, are often concerned about their personal legacy and their personal status and how history will remember them more so than winning. You see that time and time and again, especially with neocons and neoconservatives who are willing to, quote unquote, sacrifice the will of the people for what they view as a bigger cause of the institutions. Mitch McConnell is a great example of that. But Joe Biden is a political animal. He's been in politics for 40 plus years. And we saw that last bit of Joe Biden's political mentality in the fact that in his last days, he is probably one of the factors, not the main reason, but one of the factors that Trump won. His comments on Americans being garbage, his comments on hinting that he likes Trump, his comments on not attending Kamala Harris's victory speech, which turned out to be a huge defeat, were all very telling that there were fractions within the Democratic Party.